Here's KATC meteorologist Bradley Benoit.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we may see a few isolated storms develop through the course of the night. We'll talk about why here in just a bit, but temperatures continue to ramp up heading into the first parts of the week, and we're still tracking two brand new systems out in the Atlantic. More on that here coming up in just a little bit, but first, quickly taking a look at the bigger picture. We have a deepening trough off to our east, and we're going to be on the back side of that here through the next couple of days, which means drier, more stable air is going to look to filter into the area. So rain chances coming down over the next couple of days, but with a drier atmosphere in place, high temperatures still easily able to climb into the mid and upper 90s, but it may feel a little bit less humid out there. We'll talk about why here in just a little bit. Quiet on the radar this evening, but we are seeing some heavier storms off to our east and north, generally moving southward along a cold front, believe it or not, and some of this energy could try to sneak in a little bit later this evening into Acadiana, helping to spark off at least a few scattered showers and storms out there, some of which could be on the stronger side. In fact, we're actually hatched in for a marginal risk for severe weather, mainly right along the interstate and areas northward, and any storms that do develop here through the next couple of hours could produce some damaging winds, maybe some hail, but again, we'll kind of see how this materializes in the next couple of hours. Now, tropics really starting to heat up, and we kind of talked about this the last couple of weeks where we were kind of thinking we're going to see a change in the pattern by late August into early September, meaning we're likely going to see an uptick in activity, and sure enough, that is what's happening. Now, the good news out in the tropics is that Kyle and Josephine have since dissipated, so we're no longer talking about those systems, but we are watching two brand new areas. Here's the first one. A cluster of storms just east of the Lesser Antilles, and also a tropical wave that's now coming off the African coast, both of which have about a 50% chance now to develop in the next 5 days. But keep in mind, these are just areas that we're watching at this time. They don't have names. Of course, if they were to be upgraded to tropical storms, the next names would be Laura and Marco. But again, we're just going to continue to watch and monitor here as they head westward toward the Caribbean in the next several days, and still way too early to tell where they're going to end up or how strong they're going to be. So just something we'll keep an eye on here again to the next several days. Now, turning to the Euro model here, this is just one model to help give us an idea of what could happen. It's not an official forecast, but putting it into motion here, and you can see it takes the first system that we're watching, takes it pretty weak through the Yucatan, perhaps in the Bay of Campeche sometime next week, but really it's the second system that it kind of hatched onto today, maybe a little bit stronger here just north of Cuba by this time next week. So we're still a week out, meaning we have plenty of time to watch, plenty of time to monitor, and of course we'll continue to keep you updated here through the next week. We'll have Daniel in the morning, and then Rob will be back on the evenings to keep you in the loop here as far as the tropics in the next several days. But again, all of this just something we're keeping an eye on at this time. So again, overnight tonight, I paused it here at 2 a.m. I think Futurecast a little bit delayed. I think if we do see any storm activity, it would be closer to around midnight or 1 a.m. But again, we'll have to see if this materializes. Most of that should clear out by daybreak tomorrow, and through the course of tomorrow afternoon, I think we see plenty of sunshine out there. Rain chances back down to around 10% as northerly flow continues to dominate. So again, high temperatures up into the mid to upper 90s, but perhaps a little bit less oppressive and humid, with dew points coming back down into the mid 60s out there, and then pretty similar story heading into your Tuesday. Now, this cold front moving through, keep in mind it's a mid-August cold front. It's not mid-October, so not really going to have any drastic changes in our high temperatures, but low temperatures north of the interstate going to be in the lower 70s, mid-70s along the interstate, and then same along the coastal parishes. So at least a little bit better out there for your mid-August mornings. The lows tonight back in the mid-70s, keeping about a 20% chance for isolated activity overnight tonight. And then for the day tomorrow, rain chances down to 10%, highs back into the mid and upper 90s. Next 10 days, rain chances continue to stay on the lower side through Wednesday. High temperatures stay in the mid to upper 90s before a little bit more moisture tries to return to the area a little on later next week, with high temperatures back into the lower 90s. Kendria?
All right, thank you, Bradley.